But let's start with a really important idea. The #1 cause of creator burnout is the belief that volume guarantees success. But what if the secret to conquering every major platform isn't about working harder, but working smarter? Today, we are breaking down a system called content velocity. It's designed not just for survival, but for sustainable scale.
That right there, that's the belief that powers the burnout engine for so many of us. We're told over and over that the algorithm rewards relentless activity. More posts, more videos, more of everything. But chasing volume is a trap. It's a straight line to exhaustion, where your quality and ultimately your credibility are always the first things to go.
So, what's the escape hatch here? What if the accounts you see posting everywhere aren't run by these hyper-productive geniuses with more hours in the day? What if they're just people who use a smarter system? A system that lets them produce an entire week of high-quality content in a single hour. Well, that's the promise of content velocity, and we're about to unpack exactly how it works.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with what I call the great content paradox and the burnout engine it creates. Then we'll dive right into the velocity solution, see how the engine works, learn how to master it, and finally, uncover the real secret behind it all. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the great content paradox. We're going to explore why that whole more is better approach is just fundamentally flawed. This is the illusion that puts every single one of us on the content treadmill. We see accounts posting constantly, and we just assume this simple equation: more posting equals more growth. And that forces us onto this hamster wheel, chasing a metric that isn't just misleading, it's actively working against our long-term success. And here's the harsh reality of that treadmill. When you're forced to create at a pace that's just not sustainable, quality is the first thing that takes a nosedive. Your ideas get thinner, your insights become less profound. This directly attacks your source credibility, what Google actually calls experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, or EEAT. Let me be clear, sacrificing your quality for more frequency is a fatal strategic flaw.
So this really requires a fundamental shift in your focus. The old way is obsessed with activity. It's all about asking, how many times did I post this week? But the velocity way, it's obsessed with impact. It asks a totally different question. How efficiently can I turn one great idea into actual revenue? It's a crucial shift from just measuring motion to measuring real results.
Okay, on to section 2, the burnout engine. We've seen the flawed belief, now let's pull back the curtain on the hidden cost of the chaos it creates.
The enemy here actually has a name: cognitive switching cost. Think of it like an invisible tax you pay every single time your brain has to change gears. The creative mindset you need for writing is completely different from the visual mindset for design, which is different from the analytical one for scheduling. Every single switch just drains your mental energy and wastes precious time.
This slide just illustrates the damage perfectly. On the left, you've got focused work, or what we call batching. Low energy cost, high quality output, super efficient. But on the right, well, that's the chaotic reality for most creators. You're constantly switching. Your brain is working overtime just to reorient itself. Your energy plummets, and every single task takes way longer than it should.
And listen, this is a modern crisis. This isn't some personal failing on your part. The demand to be present on every single channel has exploded, and it runs headfirst into the biological reality of high cognitive switching cost. The system itself is rigged for burnout.
So, section 3, the velocity solution. How do we actually fight back against this burnout engine? The antidote isn't to just work harder or find more discipline. The antidote is a better system. It's a strategic framework called content velocity, and it's designed specifically to eliminate the friction that causes all that burnout in the first place.
At its core, this whole thing is about shifting what we celebrate. We stop rewarding the sheer volume of posts, that frantic activity, and we start rewarding the intelligence and the efficiency of the process. The goal is to value smart work, not just hard work.
Okay, section 4, how the engine works. Let's pop the hood and take a look at the moving parts of the content velocity system.
This whole engine is built on 3 pillars that work together in a sequence. First, you've got batching, which is our cure for friction. Second is atomization, that's our engine for consistency. And third, revenue velocity, the new metric for measuring what truly matters.
So let's start with batching. This is the foundation. It means you stop making one piece of content from start to finish. Instead, you create these dedicated, focused blocks of time. So maybe Monday morning is for writing only. You write all your posts for the entire week. Tuesday is for design only. you create all the visuals. This simple act literally starves that cognitive switching cost monster.
Next up is atomization, and honestly, this is the efficiency multiplier. The idea is to stop creating dozens of small, disconnected ideas. Instead, you invest your energy into one big, high-quality pillar asset, like a deep dive article, a webinar, or maybe a video just like this one. Then you systematically break that pillar down into smaller pieces. It all starts right here. One single source of truth, a high-value piece of content that contains your absolute best ideas and most compelling insights. Everything else is going to flow from this one powerful asset.
And that single pillar, it becomes a flood of content. You can pull quotes for tweets. You can break down concepts for short-form videos. You can expand on key points for LinkedIn. This isn't about creating more work. It's about unlocking the absolute maximum value from the work you've already done.
The third component is revenue velocity. This is where we completely change how we keep score. We stop asking, hey, how many views did this get? And we start asking, how quickly did this piece of content generate a qualified lead? It connects our effort directly to business impact.
But look, this system isn't just a set of clever productivity hacks. It's incredibly effective because it's built on a deep understanding of human psychology. So let's explore the science behind why it works so well.
There are really three key psychological levers at play here. First, by batching our tasks, we eliminate that cognitive switching cost, which makes creating so much easier and more enjoyable. Second, the constant stream of high-value content you get from atomization triggers the reciprocity principle. Your audience feels compelled to give back. And crucially, because every single piece stems from a quality pillar, you are constantly building trust and authority.
Okay, section 5, mastering the system. Let's get practical. How do you actually implement this stuff?
The path to mastery has 3 clear, non-negotiable steps. First, you must enforce a strict batching schedule. This isn't a suggestion, it's a rule. Protect those focused blocks of time like they're gold. Second, mandate the waterfall workflow. Every pillar asset has to generate a minimum number of smaller pieces. It just becomes part of the process. And third, shift your analytics. You have to focus your measurement on content to revenue metrics. Remember, what gets measured gets managed. This table really just draws a line in the sand. On one side, you've got vanity metrics, likes, views, frequency. They feel good, but they only measure activity. They don't tell you if that activity is actually productive. But on the other side, you have velocity metrics. Things like the dollar value of leads generated from a piece of content. These measure true impact. This is the scoreboard that actually matters.
All right, let's bring it all home. Section 6, where we distill all of this down to the one core insight. Efficiency is the secret. If you remember just one thing from this entire breakdown, let it be this. Sustainable growth is not a test of your endurance on the content treadmill. It is a direct result of the efficiency of your system. The winners aren't those who work the hardest, they are those who eliminate the most friction.
This quote just encapsulates the entire philosophy. You stop pushing mediocre content at people and just hoping something sticks. Instead, you build an efficient engine that consistently produces high-value content. And that value then pulls the right audience toward you. In this system, efficiency is the secret to guaranteeing quality at scale.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own content, what are you truly measuring? Are you just celebrating the motion of being busy, or are you measuring the real impact your work is having? The answer will determine whether you're on the path to burnout or on the path to sustainable growth.